A cold wind swept through the abandoned tower, whistling against the cracked stones as if whispering secrets no one dared to hear. Inside, in the shadow of a great throne, sat a woman. Her hair glimmered like silver under the faint light, her eyes reflecting centuries of sorrow. The air around her seemed to hum, thick with the weight of a curse that had bound her here for 1,000 years. Her name had been forgotten by time, but legends still whispered of her beauty, her power, and her suffering. She had been chained by an ancient spell, cursed to remain within the throne's cold grip until the one destined to free her arrived. Many had tried over the centuries, lured by tales of a powerful artifact hidden within the throne room. None had survived the traps, the illusions, or the guardians that protected her prison. Outside, the world had changed. Kingdoms rose and fell, stars shifted in the sky, and civilizations forgot the old stories. Yet, she remained, watching, waiting, silent, and eternal. Then he came. A stranger from the stars, guided by curiosity and an unshakable sense of destiny, stepped into the tower. His boots echoed in the hollow halls, and the torches flickered as if sensing the presence of someone different. Unlike those who came before him, he did not seek riches or power. He sought only answers to the strange signals that had pulled him across galaxies, to the mystery that had haunted his dreams since childhood. The moment their eyes met, time seemed to pause. She had seen countless faces, all betraying greed, lust, or fear. But his gaze was calm, steady, and kind. There was no desire for glory. No hunger for treasure. Just a quiet respect that pierced the layers of her 1,000-year torment. "You," she whispered, her voice trembling. "You are not like them." "I don't know what I am yet," he replied softly, taking careful steps closer. "But I feel something here. Something important." The chains around her wrists rattled slightly, as if sensing his approach. They had held firm for a millennium, forged from magic older than any living being. Yet, in his presence, a faint warmth stirred within the metal. He reached out his hand, not with force, but with intention. A simple gesture, yet filled with a courage that had never been seen in her prison. As their hands touched, a shockwave rippled through the chamber. The air shimmered, the walls groaned, and for the first time in 1,000 years, light penetrated the darkness. Her chains cracked. Not completely, but enough for a sliver of freedom. Pain and hope collided in her heart. She fell to her knees, overwhelmed by the sudden surge of emotion. He knelt beside her, gently holding her as the magic around them pulsed like a heartbeat. "You are free," he said, though the words felt inadequate. Or at least, closer than ever. She looked at him, tears streaming down her face, reflecting centuries of sorrow and sudden, fragile hope. 1,000 years, she murmured. "I have waited 1,000 years for this." He did not ask questions about the past or the curse. He simply held her hand, letting the silence speak, letting the trust grow between them. Outside, the world seemed to hold its breath. The towers, the forests, even the distant stars seemed to lean closer, watching the unfolding miracle. But freedom was never simple. The curse was ancient and clever. It did not end with broken chains. The throne itself was a trap, a prison that fed on despair. Shadows twisted into forms, whispering threats and lies, trying to pull her back into hopelessness. But he stayed. He faced the illusions, deflecting their whispers with words of truth and acts of courage. Every lie they spoke, he answered with patience. Every fear they conjured, he met with calm resolve. She watched, amazed. She had been chained not only by magic, but by the fear and cynicism of countless generations. And here was someone who faced both her curse and her doubts with unwavering courage. Together, they rose. Her broken chains still hung around her wrists, yet they felt lighter with each step. The shadows recoiled as if sensing the strength of their unity. And then, at the very heart of the throne room, they found it, a crystal pulsing with energy, the source of her curse. Its glow was hypnotic, almost suffocating, but he did not falter. "Are you ready?" he asked, turning to her. She nodded, gripping his hand tightly. "I have waited 1,000 years. I am ready." With a surge of focus and trust, he touched the crystal. Light exploded around them, blinding and searing. She cried out, not in pain, but in release. The chains shattered completely, the shadows dissolved, and the throne that had imprisoned her for centuries crumbled into dust. When the light faded, she stood unbound, alive, and finally free. Her hair shone like silver sunlight, her eyes glimmered with life, and her smile was one she had not worn in a millennium. "You did it," she whispered, awe in her voice. "You actually did it." "I only helped," he said humbly. "You broke your own chains when you believed I could help." For the first time in 1,000 years, she laughed, a sound pure and unbroken. The tower, once a place of torment, now felt like a sanctuary. The air was warm, the wind gentle, and even the stars seemed to shine brighter. She turned to him, eyes full of curiosity and hope. "What is your name?" "Call me what you wish," he replied with a small smile. "But know this, we are no longer alone. And whatever comes next, we face it together." And so, the woman who had endured 1,000 years of curse stepped into the new dawn, hand in hand with the stranger who had believed in her. The past's shadows faded behind them, and the future unknown, vast, and full of promise lay ahead. The galaxy beyond their tower waited. And this time, she would not be chained. Subscribe to HFY Vault for more tales of sacrifice, love, and humanity among the stars.